Good afternoons, friends, Rotarians, and guests to today's meeting of the Rotary Club of Tulsa. As we wind down the Rotary year, I can't think of a better way to share in the magic of Rotary than what will be presented here today. Let's start with Brian Jackson, who will lead us in an inspirational moment in the pledge, followed by Sheree Gardner, who will introduce our visiting Rotarians and guests.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, a close mentor told me that leadership positions are not necessarily all about what we have done, but rather a gift. Let's choose to pass along the gift so that others may grow and strengthen our community together. We have already proven we are leaders by agreeing to serve our community as Rotarians. We are volunteers in the Rotary Club of Tulsa that have been given the gift to serve. Let's continue and share opportunities to grow. I think about how our teachers lead in our community's classrooms. The teacher's goal is to pass along the knowledge and inspire leadership throughout the classroom, whereby the students become teachers. It is a model of leadership that does not focus on promoting the few, but all. When we strengthen our youth, together we all become stronger. When we support youth programs like Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, RYLA, Camp Enterprise, Mike Chittum Partners in Education, Shop with a Cop, and Crescendo Music Awards, we are a community of teachers. Teaching is the noblest of all the professions and the highest calling in our society. Teachers should be held in the highest regards by all of us because in their trust are placed our most precious national resource, our children. With the recent Easter season, I am reminded of the greatest teacher. His focus was not on one or two, but on all 12. Leadership should be shared as good news is shared, reminding us all that we have been given a gift. Thank you. To the colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Rotarians. If I call your name and your guest, will you please stand up and stay standing and wait until everyone is called so we can give you the affirmation that you so deserve. Our first guest is the Crescendo Award winner, Poppy Teak. Will you please stand? Host Rotarian Matt Hancock has Victoria Middleton as his guest. Oh, this one could be dangerous in my hands. We have a prospective new member in process, Eric Otega. We've got lots of committees for you. Host Rotarian Bill Vogel has Taylor Malone. Jerry Stamper has two guests, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I get it a lot myself. Magdalena Werther and Kay Stamper. Our wonderful friend Sarah Stokely has a guest from Celia Clinton. We have Tyler Miller and Cote. Sarah Stokely has also Alexander from Celia Clinton. And she also has Stephen from Celia Clinton. And Jesus from Celia Clinton. Then Luke Becken has a guest, Jarrett Smith. Everybody, let's give them their affirmation they deserve.
Thank you, Sheree, and welcome to all of our guests. I'm sure the kids are happy to have an afternoon away from school for a minute, but thank you very much for being here. We're so happy to have you. On May 12th, an email was sent to all members containing the proposed 2025 to 2026 budget for our club, approved by the Board of Directors. A copy of the proposed budget is available at your table. At our next regular meeting on May 21st, the budget will be brought before the club for consideration and approval. Should you have any questions, or if you need any further clarification, you're encouraged to contact Kevin Murray, who is our budget chair, and to do so by May 20th. For years, the Rotary Club of Tulsa has remained deeply committed to developing the next generation of leaders through a range of impactful youth programs. Today, we're proud to shine a light on several of these programs, including Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, also known as RYLA, Shop with a Cop, the Mike Chittum Partners in Education Program, Camp Enterprise, Crescendo Music Awards grants, and Rotary Youth Exchange. Since 1929, Rotary International's Youth Exchange has offered life-changing experiences for students around the world. Each year, the Rotary Club of Tulsa proudly hosts international students and sponsors local students for outbound exchanges. We are honored to welcome our Rotary Youth Exchange student, Magdalena, who will be sharing her experiences with us. But first, please turn your attention to the screens for a brief video presentation highlighting the heart and impact of Rotary Youth Exchange program.
Committed to building community through global awareness and understanding, we challenge teens globally to step outside of their comfort zone and expand their worldview by entering a new one. Hosted by supportive families, young people are given the opportunities to explore new locations, immerse themselves in a different way of life, and create impact in regions far from home, all while forming lasting relationships. And making countless memories. Returning home with endless stories to share. Because a moment can be the experience that lasts a lifetime. Rotary Youth Exchange. Find out more at rotary.org/youth exchange.
Please welcome to the stage Jerry Stamper. Jerry's been a member of our club for 34 years. He currently serves as chair of the International Projects Committee and as a director at large. Jerry also this year has generously opened his home to our youth exchange student, Magdalena. Jerry, please join us.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm pleased to introduce our club's foreign exchange student and my host daughter from Salzburg, Austria, Magdalena Ferner. Magda has 2 more weeks left with us, and then she will be missed, and then she heads back to Salzburg. So Magdalena today is going to provide a short presentation introducing her family and her activities in review of this year. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. It's hard to believe, but my exchange year is coming to an end. Time has really flown by. My name is Magdalena Furtner, and I'm from Salzburg, Austria, a beautiful city full of history, music, and mountains. I have two younger brothers. One is 14 and his name is Clemens. And the other one is 12, named Sebastian. This year, I had the incredible opportunity to live here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as a Rotary Youth Exchange student. And today, I would love to share a bit about my journey with you. Let me start when I first came from where I come from, my home, my family, and my friends. Salzburg is the heart from Europe, a city known for the birthplace of Mozart and a film location for The Sound of Music. It's a small city by American standards, but it's rich in culture, history, and tradition. I grew up with my parents and my two brothers. My family always has been close. We enjoy hiking in the mountains, cooking traditional Austrian meals together, and skiing in the winter. The first picture is my family, and the second one is my 15th birthday with my friends. Then my two brothers, Sebastian and Clemens. The first house and the second one is our mountain home in the Alps, where we are in the summer. That's my school. In Austria, school is quite different from here. We usually stay in the same class group for many years, and we don't switch classrooms or take elective the way American students do. The system is more academically focused, and we don't have much school spirit or extracurriculum activities like sport or drama. So I always imagine what it would be like to go into an American high school, and this year I got to find it out. That's Salzburg, Austria, and it's really close to Germany. When I arrived in Tulsa, I started attending Bishop Kelly High School, and right away I felt welcome. Bishop Kelly is a private Catholic high school, and I really appreciated the strong sense of community and values there. The teachers were kind and supportive, and I enjoyed the small class sizes compared to Austria. It helped me to participate more and ask questions, improve my English, and build relationship with my class. This year, I had also the incredible opportunity to join the tennis team at Bishop Kelly, and I have always loved playing tennis, and being a part of a team gave me the sense of belonging. We practiced almost every day, and we had the chance to compete in matches across the state. It challenged me, but it also helped me to stay active, make friends, and even learn more English. That was the first day of high school with my first host family and with my host sister. Then that was my 16th birthday in September. That was the first football game. One of the most important parts of this year was being a part of Rotary Youth Exchange. Rotary doesn't just bring me here, it gave me the purpose and a global family. I got to attend the Rotary Club meeting in Tulsa, where I met so many incredible, inspiring people doing important work for their communities. I also took part in several Rotary service projects. For example, I volunteered at the local food bank called Iron Gate. One of my favorite memories was when all the exchange students in the district came together for a weekend at Scry. We were from all over the world: Brazil, France, Japan, Mexico, Germany, and many more. We shared our cultures and cooked meals from our countries, and we had long conversations about everything from school to homesickness. Even though we came from different places, we had something very special in common. We were all stepping out of our comfort zone and growing, learning together. I truly believe that youth exchange program helps building peace in the world, not by speeches or politics, by creating friendships and understanding between young people from different cultures. And that's what I will carry with me forever. That was Scry, and this picture on the bottom is all together, and then we went for lunch downtown, and the first picture on the top is all the exchange students who stayed at our house. That is the first picture is all the left one, that's the Rotary Youth Exchange kids who were in the district there in Arkansas, and the big one that was at the Iron Gate. Of course, none of this would be even possible without my host families. I was lucky to live with two amazing families here in Tulsa. From the moment I arrived, they made me feel like a part of the family, not just a guest, but someone they truly cared about. They included me in everything: family dinners, holidays, game nights, church on Sundays, and even simple things like grocery shopping or watching movies. With my first host family, I learned what a real American Thanksgiving is like. So much food, so much football, and we drove to Branson and Silver Dollar City. That first picture was on my 16th birthday for dinner. Then we went to, for my host brother, the flag football games. We also went to, they had a lake house. We spent there a lot of time. And this first picture is Silver Dollar City. Then we had Halloween, and the last one is Thanksgiving. With my second host family, I got to experience Christmas and spring break. We traveled to Texas, drove through New Mexico, and went skiing to Colorado, which was an adventure I will never forget. They helped me through the hard days too, when I missed home, when I got frustrated with my English, or when I was overwhelming. Their kindness, patience, and love helped me grow and feel supported every step on my way. That was Christmas, then Christmas, and that snowman was a snow day. We went to a wrestling match, we went to a skiing telluride. Yeah. One of my best parts of my exchange year was traveling. I had the chance to see many amazing places in the United States. I visited Texas, where we went to a real rodeo. It was exciting. The horses, the bulls, the cowboy hats. It felt like a really, truly American experience. That was Fort Worth, the rodeo. I also went skiing in Colorado and New Mexico. It was amazing. The mountains were huge and the snow was perfect. I had so much fun with my host family enjoying the winter. It felt almost like home. We went through New Mexico. Skiing. And one day we were in Purgatory, and one day we drove to Telluride. It's Telluride. I also went to Hawaii, which was like a dream. The beaches were beautiful, the ocean were clean, and I saw a real turtle swimming in the ocean. I tried Hawaiian food and learned about the culture. It was a very special trip for me. That was Hawaii. The first pictures on the first days, we went on a catamaran. Then we went snorkeling and saw turtles, and we went to the top of the island. We had yoga. We went to Paul Harbor. They had an old Rotary Youth Exchange student that I met them there too. And we went surfing. Yeah, I did surfing. I also visited the East Coast, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. In New York, I saw the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, and the Times Square, and so many more things. In Washington, I visited the White House and important museums. In Philadelphia, I learned about American history and saw the Liberty Bell. These trips helped me to understand more about the American culture and history. That was the first days and the first time when I saw Times Square, the Statue of Liberty Bell, the Bull, the Memorial, and then on the Times Square on the top, the Times Square in the night, Brooklyn Gate Bridge, And then my friends they are made from, one was from France and one was from Belgium. That was in Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. And we went to the Space Museum too. These trips were unforgettable, and it helped me to see how big and diverse the U.S. really is. Tulsa will always have a special place in my heart. I made friends for life here. I had teachers, Rotary members, and host parents who believed in me and helped me to become a better version of myself. I always discovered that I want to keep exploring the world. Maybe studying abroad again in college, but I will plan to join Rotex when I'm going back. To everyone who made my year so special, my Rotary Club here and back in Austria, my host families, my teachers, and my friends, thank you so much.
Thank you, Magdalena, for sharing your incredible journey. I'm quite jealous up here from New York to Hawaii. Jerry, if you ever need a travel buddy, I'm here for you, all right? Heartfelt thank you to you, Jerry, and to Kay Stamper for graciously opening your home, and to Duff Weddle, Alan Whalen, Mary Beth Sawyer, Natalie Evans, and the entire Rotary Youth Exchange Committee for your unwavering dedication, hospitality, and hard work. Your commitment makes these life-changing opportunities possible and exemplifies the very best of Rotary spirit worldwide towards service and friendship. Thank you again to our committee. Now I'd welcome to the stage this year's Rotary Youth Services Director, Brian Jackson.
Well, my first words is I am so proud of our Rotary Club. Look around and see we have a packed house, and I love it. Give it up for this Rotary Club. Come on. Wow. This is how we support our youth. I love it. So truly, if there's a title today, it's Investing in the Future, Youth Programs of the Rotary Club of Tulsa. So fellow Rotarians, you are about to hear 5 youth committees report out on all their good news. Each committee will have 5 minutes to share their good news with stories, slideshows, and videos. You might have noticed as you walked into Thomas Hall all the various colored tablecloths throughout the room. This was for the audience, you, to be visually connected to the vast and varying programs, activities sponsored by your club, our club, collectively reaching over 800 youth each year. Let's hear it for the Rotary Club of Tulsa. All right, we're going to start with RYLA. So that's R-Y-L-A, and that stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, and that is led by our very own Matt Hancock. He's our Rotary District 6110 co-chair of RYLA, and he's from the Rotary Club of Tulsa. Come on up, Matt. Miguel, you want to go ahead with that? Yeah. Awesome.
It all starts with the leader.
But you can never tell where that leader will end up.
Because
because leaders invest, they change, they grow.
They connect us with the world.
In a fast-paced camp, high school juniors develop leadership skills at the speed of light.
Because at camp, challenge is a choice.
It gives each student a chance to be who they really are.
It gives them a sense of belonging.
Understanding of Rotary.
And a connection to others that they don't get anywhere else.
Raleigh District 6110, limitless potential in an ever-changing world.
All right, well, thank you guys. So that was just a brief commercial of what we kind of do with our district. I've been blessed to be in Rotary since 2012, and the very first meeting I sat in was in the Rotary Club of Broken Arrow, and I sat down at a club meeting and heard these high school juniors talk about going to camp, having fun, and they were sent by Rotary. And I said, well, at the time I was at the YMCA, and I said, leadership development seems like something I've done my whole life, and high ropes, and camp is something that I absolutely want to be involved in. That same meeting, they fired the chair, apparently, and said, Matt, you're it. So for the past 13 years, I've been blessed to lead roughly 2,130 students through our 4 states for our district. And this past year, frankly, went to Daniel as well as a couple of other members of our club and said, hey, I'd really love to see the Rotary Club of Tulsa support Ryle at a different level. And have had some great relationships over time with that. But 2,000 students have been impacted through our program since 2012. We meet high school juniors where they're at, whether that be kids from McLean, that be students on youth exchange, kids from Flippin, Arkansas, Mount Home, Arkansas, all across the district have the opportunity to come together in the name of Rotary around purpose. And purpose is the word I want to use as I describe what we do. We do serve the same age group as our great program with Camp Enterprise. However, fundamental and foundational leadership is our focus. Service above self, diversity, communication, selflessness is key and critical. Tiffany and John have both been great assets and great supporters of the program. Tori, who's with us today, Tori is one of our products. She works in Mark Wayne Mullen's office and was downtown. I said, you need to come hang out with some downtown Rotarians. Is a Rotarian herself, and that is one of those products of Ryla as well. As we're looking at future Rotarians, how do we grow the future of Rotary? We can't grow the future of Rotary if we don't embrace who's paying for the fun and who's having the fun at the same time. I'd like to ask for one thing. I'd like for everybody to pick a right or left thumb. It doesn't matter, but I want a thumbprint. Like, everybody's got a thumb. Come on, Eric, show me your thumb. Come on, we're going to participate with Matt. I got 5 minutes. Okay? Everybody's got a thumbprint, right? Okay, that's your thumbprint. It's unique to you. My thumbprint includes the Rotary Club of Tulsa. These young men that are here are awesome exchange student. Rotary Club of Tulsa is a part of that thumbprint. And for your friends that are in banking, there's investments and there's withdrawals, and guess what? Welcome to real life. And we have high school juniors that come to us, and we have the opportunity to invest in their thumbprint so that 2,000 kids can go back into our communities and make a difference in the world, make a difference in the globe, make a difference in Mount Home, Flippin, Memorial High School, you name it, going from Carver all the way through the system, Celia Clinton, you name it, having an opportunity to serve, and our thumbprint getting put on that. So as a club, I want to say thank you. I say thank you because we've put our thumbprint on, as Brian alluded to, 800 youth, and you guys have committed to us as a district program the opportunity to make an impact on youth across the whole globe, because every youth exchange student has the opportunity to attend as well with that. We run the week of fall break, October 16th to the 19th of 2025. There are people like John and Tiffany that say they want to come hang out with us for 4 days and invest in that facet with that. But we're here to make an investment. That's what we do, so that individuals like Tori can see the future of Rotary and also be a future investor. And I want to thank you on behalf of those 2,000 students to say thank you for being an investor. Because that's it. If you think you're just here for lunch, it's so much more than that. And I think that today will showcase that at a really high level. If you want more information, I can be your guy. Also Facebook, Instagram, and the website. It's not always money. You know, this thing doesn't cost anything. It takes a little bit of time. And we all have some time we spend in places that are important to us. So if you want to change some kids' lives, and I really say that, over 4 days, over fall break, I can be your guy, and thank you for what you do. Keep being an investor.
What a wonderful program. And I can see, just look around, there are enough of us as fellow Rotarians to support our district initiative with RILA, as well as our Camp Enterprise. And that's what's coming up next, because we need as many opportunities for our youth as possible. And that's what I'll say. So Camp Enterprise has combined free enterprise with fun. Now, who likes fun? You know I do. Raise your hands. All right, there we go. Very good. Well, speaking of fun, come on up, Dylan Harden. He's our chair of Camp Enterprise, and let me say, 50th annual Camp Enterprise. Let's give it up for Dylan.
I have to make sure and state that Robert is the chair. I'm just the co-chair. He's handing it off, though, finally. So I'm Dylan Harden. I'm up here to share a little bit about Camp Enterprise this year. So, perfect. Miguel, will you click? Oh, thank you. All right, so Camp Enterprise 2025, we went to a new place again. So we have rotated camps the last 3 years, and we found one we think will really stick with. It was great to work with. The space was awesome. And so it was in Manfred, Oklahoma, and there were some new counselors there this year that was really exciting to see, as well as some new partnerships with different individuals. So our recruiting efforts the last few years have been really ramping up, and we've been really seeing the payoff of that. And so this year there were over 50 schools that we contacted. We received 48 applicants, and then we received 40 campers, which was a pretty big growth from last year, and we're trying to really build back and get to pre-COVID numbers of 50, 60 plus. So we couldn't do this without the volunteers. So real quick, if you were a volunteer either at camp or financially assisted with camp, I'd love for you to stand up and we'll give you a round of applause. And we would love to see this list continue to grow, so anyone, same thing. We would love to have any volunteers out there, whether it's for a day, night, or whatever. So here is the camp schedule. We were hit with a lot of rain that week, which was really fun, because, I have to stop and, Karen made sure I mentioned this. We had our camp changed 2 weeks before Camp Enterprise. And so I was out of town, and Robert and the whole crew were really having to figure out how we were going to find a new spot for a camp in 2 weeks. And we got that done. And so there was a lot of adversity here, but it just shows how great the team is and committed the club is. And so we're really proud of that. But here's the camp schedule. So Thursday, when we got everything settled, the campers arrived. We started off with Tulsa Changemakers. They came and did some icebreakers for the group. And then we introduced them to Camp Enterprise and J.A. Titan. So J.A. Titan is the program that's really behind all this. So the kids are actually running a business in the background. They're all on different teams, and they're competing against each other. And depending on the choices they make each round, that affects that score and that team's profitability. And so it's really neat to see them grasp the concept of Camp Enterprise and J.A. Titan over the course of the three or 4 days. And then Friday, we kicked off the morning with J.A. Titan. Again, there was more rain, but we got a little bit of break, and so we went and played Capture the Flag one day, and then we had a dodgeball tournament in the gym another day. So we made it the best of it, but the camp had a great outdoor activity area that we didn't really get to utilize. And then Jan and Brian spoke and did design thinking to the students. And then Simon, who owns the Vanguard in Tulsa, came and spoke, and that was the kids loved it, and it was a really great addition. And then we had the DJ and the dance that night. Saturday kicked off with more J.A. Titan, more rain, and then Andy, the owner of the Tulsa Oilers, was a speaker. And highly recommend you go check out Ice Street or the Ice Center. It's a really great place, and he was a really great speaker, and we're happy to have him in Tulsa. And then Saturday we had steak night. Again, every year we'd love for you all to join us at steak night. It's a great way to meet the kids in a pretty casual setting, and we get to have some pretty good steaks. And the the chefs back there really put in a lot of work, so thank you. And then President Daniels spoke to wrap us up on Saturday. Sunday, we wrapped up J.A. Titan and then sent the campers home. And so I have some pictures of the campers with the different speakers as well as some games they played. And Mary Beth back there promised me that next year we'll have a video, so I'm excited for that next year. Thank you all again. We couldn't do it without you and really appreciate the opportunity to do this every year.
Sounds like fun, and I can testify that steak was delicious. That's how I volunteered. I ate the steak. That's right, it was good. So next up, speaking of a wonderful opportunity, wow, the Mike Chittum Partners in Education at our very own Celia Clinton. So we've got coming up to the stage Sarah Stokely and Karen Langdon. They're the co-chairs, and I must say, very devoted. Their hearts, like all the committees and the chairs of all the committees, very involved, and you can tell that they have a passion. And that's what I think of when I think of Sarah and Karen. So it's Rotary has transformed truly Celia Clinton Elementary School. So think of it this way, changing lives of students and Rotarians. So Sarah and Karen.
So we had a very exciting year at Celia Clinton. We did a back-to-school lunch for all the teachers. Then at Christmas time, we did dictionaries for the 3rd grade, and thank you, Daniel. He was instrumental in getting us name tags for all the kids' names in the books. And just last week, we had teacher appreciation again all week, and they were given T-shirts.
Our committee is really to provide funds for things that Tulsa Public School doesn't have funds for. So anytime the principals want to have lunch for the teachers, or that we're the source of funds. Sarah and I have done this for 2 years, and when we started, we found out we had $20,000 in reserves that had accumulated over the years, and just that no use had been found. And so we sort of hung around the school and talked to the principals and stuff, and we discovered that in the middle of the school was like a patio, open area, and it was all grassy and trees growing up, and there was an old rotted bench table, and there were rotted tables over here in a lecture section. And what had happened is about 30 years ago, the Tulsa Rotary built they called it the Serendipity Center. And it was to be an arts center with the tables and benches, and then a lecture center for science classes with the just plain benches. But it wasn't used, and it rotted, and there was a big sign that said, "Presented by the Rotary Club of Tulsa." Daniel didn't even realize it was there, and he was the chairman before of the committee. It was like just a hidden nothing. So anyway, I went to Tulsa Public Schools because I knew we couldn't do a project there without talking to them. And they were really excited, and the foundation agreed, the Tulsa Public School Foundation agreed, they would sponsor it, and then they could use their tax-exempt status by making it a project for them. And then TPS got involved, and they had some benches. I don't know why they had them sitting around, but they had benches. They didn't have anybody to put them together, but they had these bench table things, and then they had the money to get the trees cut down, and they had some resources. So Tim Knoll, We Be Trees, was contracted with TPS and came in first and took down these big trees. And then they had an open area, and it was just dirt. So they needed concrete sidewalks, and then they needed the benches put together and benches built in the lecture area. So over the last year, TPS slowly but surely got everything together, and then we presented our budget to the board of Rotary. Could we spend the $20,000 to put the sidewalks in, put the benches together to complete the project? And so literally, like 2 months ago, the project was completed, and now Rotary Club of Tulsa, we can take pride in what is there as our Serendipity Center. And we're going to show you pictures in just a minute. Monday, they're having a school athletic day, and from 8:30 to 11:30, you can go out there, and the kids will be playing games, but you can see the Serendipity Center. Or anytime you go to Sealy Clinton, you can see the Serendipity Center. It's a wonderful, wonderful contribution to the school, and TPS is thrilled. So now we'll show our, and it starts out with what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Jonathan. We usually are talking about soccer today because we play soccer all the time, but there's a sport called golf. Raise your hand if you've heard of golf. Okay, golf actually is one of the best sports to play.
The new Serendipity Center that's been sponsored by Tulsa Rotary Club. Here's what it used to look like, and now we have brand new tables and chairs for the art students to do their art project. So I've got 5 students here and 1 teacher who are doing their art projects out here today. It's a beautiful spring day, and this is a great outdoor facility for the kids to do their arts and crafts. Who wants to tell me what they're drawing? What are you drawing? Is that a little girl? Is that a picture of you? Yes. All right. What are you drawing? A flower. What are you drawing? A flower. Another flower. What are you drawing? A flower. A flower. Everybody's drawing a flower. Well, when you come to art class, will your teacher have something and she'll say, draw this, and then you'll draw it on your papers? Is that what you do in art class? You draw what the teacher tells you? Yeah. Yeah. And could you bring some clay out here and do a clay project? Or you could do all kinds of arts and crafts on this table. Why are they metal? Are they metal because they'll last forever? So you'll be able to do art projects out here for 45. See? They're all metal and they're nicely painted, and the weather will not wear them out. The end.
I was thinking right over by the piano, and I thought, with Celia Clinton for our club, in many respects, that's the heart of our club, is when we all go out to Celia Clinton and volunteer. We're all Rotarians, and we're all just loving on the kids. And so I just want to say thank you to these brave young gentlemen. Let's give it up for them. They're doing great. And we're glad you're here, okay? Next up, Shop with a Cop. That's with Karen McCannell, the chair, another dedicated Rotarian that has the passion each year to make this possible. So it's Rotary's annual holiday tradition. Karen?
Thank you very much. Miguel, I did not get with you, but you can just let that run. It should time perfectly if it does. But I want to be adopted by the Stampers. And if it's a semester or whatever, I'll take a class at TCC. So I'm all in on that one. Daniel, I'll travel. You can come with us. How about that? But Shop with a Cop was started in 2002 by our club as an annual outreach to at-risk children who otherwise might have a negative impression of police officers. And I have to add a note because I just learned prior to lunch that we gained a Rotarian, John Raines, who was stolen from another club to bring this program to us. So thank you, John Raines. We have partnered with the Tulsa Fraternal Order of Police since the first event. Our students are from our partner in education school, Celia Clinton. This past December, we had 33 students and 163 additional family members who would receive holiday presents thanks to this program. We budgeted $40 per person, and our shopping total was $575 under budget. Each family also received a $50 Walmart gift card from our club. Thank you to our tabulators, Rob Berry and Ken Snoke, who kept us in line, and they tracked the spending per student. This event would not be possible without all the Rotarians who volunteer. If you did volunteer this year, would you please stand? Thank you all. It wouldn't be possible without you. It's also not possible without the generous donations from the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation for their continued generosity and support. The Tulsa FOP and Marcy Brannon for contacting officers and their financial contribution. And today is the kickoff for Special Olympics, so I had hoped to have a couple of props, but they were in Stillwater today. Other donors to be mentioned include Mark Allen Chevrolet, Rotarians Ken Snoke, Bill Vogel, Bill Glenn, Manford Funeral Home. Thank you to the Walmart Supercenter at Memorial and Admiral for making room for us each year. And this location is special as this is part of the Celia Clinton neighborhood and the families feel very comfortable there. To my JC Senate friends who stepped in to man the wrapping stations during COVID and have returned every year, and to our favorite elf, Tommy Lynn, for joining our wrapping crew. Thank you all for a successful Shop with a Cop 2024.
Well, wonderful. Well, we're on our fifth, and if you know, we're going to end on a crescendo. I had to, I love it. So, Crescendo Music Award grants. We'll hear from Kaiden Creek Palm, our chair. Thank you. And Corey, yes.
I'm just here to keep the young guys straight, that's all. Back in 1999, we started the Crescendo Music Awards. Small project, had $1,500 budget that year, and couldn't make it stretch far enough, so the judges all reached in their pockets and put another $600 on the table, and that's the way the Crescendo Music Awards was birthed. About the third year in, we had an incredible pianist that came to us. His name was Kaiden Creek Palm. And Kaiden was one of the winners that year, and it was that year, after Kaiden performed on stage, that Bob Johnson walked up and handed Joseph Bias a check for $50,000 and said, put this somewhere where it'll do the most good. And so that was the ongoing. So Kaiden, back to you.
Thank you, Corey. I don't know if any of you were here that day I performed. I remember I played a Chopin Polonaise and I put the Boomer Sooner in the middle of it because I was an OU student at the time. So it has been my pleasure. 15, 16 years went by and I came back to Tulsa after being gone more than a decade, and Joseph Bias and Corey took me to lunch and recruited me to the Rotary Club and also to lead this committee. And it has been a pleasure. The Crescendo program is something that I think we can all be really, really proud of, because what Corey didn't say is that despite some humble beginnings, within a decade, the fundraising had been so successful, the program was so large, all the winners were flying in from Juilliard, the Manhattan School of Music, and the winners were putting on performances that were ticketed events filling the Performing Arts Center downtown. It grew unbelievably, way beyond, I suspect, the earliest visions of the founders, which included Linda Bradshaw right over here and a few others. So about 6 years ago, that process became a bit unwieldy and difficult for volunteer Rotarians to manage. And so we transitioned the program to what it is today, a grant-making program, still with the same fundamental goals to support music education, to encourage talented young musicians, and a little bit broader to support teachers and music programs as well. So it is really a blast to be able to give these grants every year. You see here some screenshots from our website just to give a sense of what it looks like. We have our own website. We do this every spring. We usually open the application window around February, and we leave it wide open. And it's almost confusingly wide open, but we tell people, dream up any exciting project that would change your life. What would you like to do? If money was not an object, well, I shouldn't say it that way, but if a few $1,000s can achieve it, what would you like to do? And we get some amazing proposals. But just give a sense, I mentioned when it was a performance competition, it really grew such that, again, the winners were often flying in from the top 3 or 4 conservatories in the country. We ramped it back down to a Tulsa area benefiting program, because we really want to benefit students and teachers in our area. So we stay within 50 miles of Tulsa. And this is just an example of a winner. This is from our website a couple of years ago, Amelia, and it was her dream. She was a public school band and orchestra director here in Tulsa, and it was her dream to go to this world-class conducting workshop in Europe and to study conducting with a couple of the biggest names in the business. And we were able to fund that life-changing experience for her. And it did change her life. I love this quote. She said, I experienced incredible levels of musicianship, socialized with some of the biggest names in classical music. Ultimately, my trip was a life-changing experience that expanded my awareness of not only what is possible, but of what I am possible of doing. This could not have happened without the wonderful people at the Rotary Club of Tulsa and the Crescendo Music Awards Grants Committee. And she said, the best news, registration is now open. Of course, that was a year or so ago we posted this. The people behind this award want to change lives. Don't be afraid to think big or go a little further than you would have imagined as possible. You never know who will be there to greet you on the other side and who's willing to support and cheer for your success right here in Tulsa. And she went on actually to resign her position as a public school teacher, but she works full-time now with the Tulsa Youth Symphony. So she's still a teacher in a different capacity and following her passion for conducting. That's just one case study from a couple of years ago. This year, we had a record year, more than $200,000 worth of applications. Our budget every year is about $25,000, which is wonderful to give away $25,000, but when you see $200,000 in requests, it's a hard job for the committee. So this gives you a sense of who we gave grants to this year. Megan Desmarais, a local piano studio owner and pianist, and she would like to have time to step back from her studio of about 80 or 90 students and to go to an intensive program in France and study with a piano teacher herself, just a little bit of professional and personal development to advance her career. Glenpool Intermediate Music Program, they asked for a new digital piano. There are many photos and stories about how they're limping along with a duct taped together instrument, and this is going to be something very impactful for their choir program in particular. Rachel Hahn, a public school teacher, asked for help to attend ORF training. That's a style of teaching music to young kids. Bree Jones, a brand new entrepreneur. Speaking of Camp Enterprise, she is a young woman in Tulsa, has opened her own piano studio, and I think I have a picture of her. Yeah, just to give a sense. And she's a young female entrepreneur. She's got piano students. She's got an all-Steinway studio. She's working hard. She asked for help this summer to do a couple of professional development classes for herself to improve herself. And so things that are hard to do on a budget, a few $1,500 might be a lot, but we can help her do that to help her along on her path. Emma Starling, another public school teacher, also ORF training. Number 6, Owasso Public Schools Saxophone Ensemble. They needed some new instruments and equipment. All right, go past this. And then these are the final awards this year. Owasso Public Schools Saxophone Ensemble needed some new equipment. Sequoia Middle School Choir, they desperately needed some basic supplies. Poppy T, can you stand? She is our winner who's here with us today, an opera major in school. And with our help, you'll be going to Berlin this summer. She has been cast, let's see, I think I have No, I don't have a slide on that, sorry, but you were cast as the named role in an opera production at an intensive opera academy in Germany. So we're very excited for you, and we're excited to help you go there. Round of applause for Poppy. And the last few awards this year, Tulsa Community Band, $2,000, two sisters to go to a chamber music festival, and then another public school teacher, happy to help this band director. Again, think about it, if you're a young, and this is a young single public school, high school band director, $2,000 is an extraordinary expense to go to like the biggest national conference in your field and learn about conducting and band teaching. But we can help do that and make a big difference in her life. So thank you for your continued support of the Crescendo program. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, since I've been keeping statistics for 27 years now, over the course of this process, we have pulled in 1,005 applications. We've been able to fund about 25% of those to the tune of $647,750.
Just like I said, we ended on a crescendo. That's right, yes. All right, there we go. That fell flat. Oh, there's enough, there's enough. All right, well, more serious, we must, if you served on a youth committee, one of the 5, please stand so we can thank you and give a round of applause. President Daniel.
Thank you to all of our committee chairs and volunteers, but also to the members of our club. It's through your generosity and donation to the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation that makes all of this magic possible. So thank you. Upcoming programs will be May 21st, Malcolm McCollum, Executive Director of Tulsa Tough, the international cycling event, will be here. May 28th, we'll be joined by Ashley Beck, the newly named Executive Director for the Outsider House Museum, and Danny Boy O'Connor will be here as well. June 4th will be the Rotary Foundation Grants Showcase with guest speaker Wendy Thomas, the past Executive Director of Leadership Tulsa, where we will again share the magic of Rotary and what our club does in our community. Special thanks to gold sponsors, We Be Trees, Tim Knoll, Max Electric Supply, Jack McGlumphy, Coldwell Banker Select, Sheree Gardner, OK Ethics, Mary Lytle, Farmers Insurance, Dave Bryant, Ellsworth Construction, Ryan Quattrocci, Health Zone at St. Francis, Graydon Yohe, Silver Meeting sponsors, Associated Mortgage Corporation, Chuck Wilson, Bank First, Paul Baumann and Bill Miller, Clear Ridge LLC, Matthew Bristow, Southern Millworks Incorporated, Bill Vogel, and bronze sponsors, Hall Estel, Tom Klenda and Daniel Ketchum, Hanson and Holmes, Richard Holmes, Hearts for Hearing, Kaylee Clark, and Interim Healthcare, Joe Johnson. Committee meetings, the Board of Directors will meet in room 231 after today's meeting. Thank you again for everybody who's been here today. Your ideals of service above self are again present in everything that we do. As we adjourn, let's carry forward the inspiration and momentum to serve our community with purpose and with kindness, as Rotarians have always done. We are adjourned.